Good morning, my people. I'm your host, Eduardo Garcia, and you are tuning the station OK 101 here in Bogota. I hope you are quite comfortable in your houses, traffic lines, or in your work. Because today we are going to talk about a really good topic that is debatable and discussed by millions of people in a lot of countries around the world, which is the legalization of abortion, and it is a little touchy and really controversial. This time, we are really happy to have two experts about abortion, and they are going to give us advice and some news that is difficult to find in the old books or newspapers these days. Okay, let's start. Go for the Dr. Magali Ramirez. She's from Argentina and she graduated from Buenos Aires University. Hi Magali, how are you?
Good morning, everyone. I'm fine, thank you, Eduardo.
I'm fine too. And on the other side, we have the Dr. Felipe Modesto from Dominican Republic, and he studied social studies at Harvard. Hi, doctor. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Eduardo. And how are you?
Fine, really fine. Many arguments convince many people to decide not to legalize therapeutic abortion because it's inhumane and it should be practiced when the pregnancy puts women at risk of death or a serious and permanent damage. So, people, what do you think? A lot of people are against allowing women to have a child product of a sexual violation. For these cases, it's called sentimental abortion, and it should be legalized because it's necessary to agree to remove a child with disabilities because the child will suffer a lot. So, listeners and experts, what is your view about that?
I have to explain my professional and personal opinion about that. I'm in favor of legal abortion. In first case, when mom is in risk to die, I have to say that when it's necessary, access to legal and professionally performed abortion reduces maternal injury and death. In fact, women who receive abortion are less likely to suffer mental health problems than women denied abortions. A September 2013 peer-reviewed study comparing the mental health of women who receive abortion to women denied abortions found that women who were denied abortion feel more regret and anger and less relief and happiness than women who had abortions. The same study also found 90% of women who received abortion felt it was the right decision a week after the procedure. I'm afraid, but I think that is the safest way to solve the trouble of mortality in mothers. By the way, modern abortion procedures are safe and do not cause lasting health issues such as cancer and infertility.
Okay, all of us know that this is a really controversial topic, but I just gonna say my point of view. In this case, the word therapy means heal, and the abortion doesn't heal anything. Actually, the scientists guarantee that just in a few cases they have to decide between the mother and son lives. The ethics code mentions that in case of complication during the pregnancy, doctors always have to try to save both lives and never have to decide between the mother or son lives.
Okay, doctors, what about when mom was abused?
This one could be a little controversial point because the pregnancies caused by a violation are extremely unusual. Also, the 40% to 80% of abuses are not reported. An abortion doesn't take away any physical or physiological pain. Maybe it could be add the physical complication that has the abortion. In the other hand, the product of this violent act is just an innocent baby that doesn't have to take care about his biological father decision. Also, the expert legislator said that legalized sentimental abortion could open a really complicated process and the way for some people not to take responsibility about his acts. So it could be okay under some circumstances, but If some woman had the opportunity to abort just by saying it was her will, they wouldn't have to take responsibility about her acts.
About this topic, I tend to be a little opinionate. A baby should not come into the world unwanted. Having a child is an important decision that requires consideration, preparation, and planning. The Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment states that unintended pregnancies are associated with birth defects, low birth weight, maternal depression, increased risk of child abuse, lower educational attainment, delayed entry into perinatal care, a high risk of physical violence during pregnancy, and reduced rate of breastfeeding.
The last point that the doctors going to debate is when the child comes with problems.
When the child comes with problems, abortion gives pregnant women the option to choose not to bring fetus with profound abnormalities to full term. So fetus have some severe disorders that death is guaranteed before or shortly after birth. These include anencephaly, which is the brain is missing, and the limb body wall complex, in which organs develop outside the body cavity. It would be cruel to force women to carry fetus with fatal congenital defects to term. Even in case of non-natal conditions such as Down syndrome, parents may be unable to care for a severely disabled child. On the other hand, personhood begins after a fetus becomes viable, able to survive outside the womb of after birth, not a conception. Fetus are incapable of feeling pain when most abortions are performed.
I'm against. Let me explain why. Knowing the name of eugenic abortion, it has their fundamentals on the belief that beautiful and healthy people having to decide when a life has value, and that's kind of racism and discrimination. With that criterion, we are agreed to we could kill disabled people who are already born. In other hand, scientifically, you couldn't prove with a 100% of security that the baby will have malformation. Also, who can say that disabled people don't want to live? One of the most important protest marches on California was made by a huge group of disabled people with a big poster that said, "Thanks, Mom, because you didn't abort me."
Well, on the one hand, we had the Dr. Felipe, and on the other hand, the Dr. Magali. Maybe these doctors help to have a clearer idea of being for or against legalizing abortion. I hope that this debate has been very good for you because they had to take a lot of work to explain abortion. Now, we are to continue with good music and see you tomorrow at the same time, at the same dial, and don't leave your favorite station, OK 101.